Hi everyone, thanks so much for being here today. This is Michael Angel, and most of you probably know me from CD Soundmaster. So the purpose of this webinar today is to introduce you to my new website and community forum, Fix Attune. I'm really excited about the launch of Fix Attune, and so let's get started right away. So just to let you know ahead of time, in case we run into any glitches or problems running this live, I will have this recorded on this end so that I can replay it, and especially since a lot of people are in different time zones, I'll make sure that it's available as an event more than one time, but also posted to YouTube. And I'm going to try my hand at Facebook as well, so if you're listening to this on Facebook, then that's already been successful. So what is Fix Attune? Fix Attune is a community forum for people at all stages of music mixing and music mastering who are looking to learn how to hone their skills, people who are frustrated and just getting started, every level of music mixing and mastering that I have a knowledge base in. I'm looking to extend that knowledge to you. I have already selected a list of the top several hundred topics that I have gone over through forums and mostly privately in emails over the years. The problems that people tend to run into the most often with their mixing and mastering. And those are going to be covered as topics through tutorials that take place on my blog through Fix Attune. And then each blog post is going to be covered as its own topic under the main mixing and mastering sections of the forum. So what I'll ask you to do, please make sure today, go ahead and sign up for the forum. Everything involved with this is free. The purpose of Fix Attune is to get the information in people's hands in a way that's tangible, that really helps you to grow, get the answers that you're looking for, and it's absolutely free. So how does that work exactly? Well, here's what I'm really excited about. There are a lot of excellent tutorials and how-tos. People with YouTube channels, there's people with websites, people with lots of good credentials, wonderful studios who have all played a role in teaching people how to use different pieces of equipment, or how do I compress drums, or what is a de-esser. But it's very difficult to get hands-on specific answers to that exact problem that you're having in your mix or in your master. So I believe that there's three main problems that I wanted to find a solution to with Fix Attune. And there's other components to it as well, but the three main things that I wanted to address, that first of all, in online forums, if somebody has a specific mix problem or is just not breaking through that barrier and they want to say, here's my mix, tell me what needs to be done, can you fix it? That's problem number one, because you're either going to get the advice of everybody from amateurs to professionals, people that may or may not be in your field. You may have trolls who have absolutely no idea what a mix is. But for the most part, if it is a professional group, and if it is the type of atmosphere where professionals are there to lend a hand and can give you the answers, it's not the appropriate place for that question. The truth is that forums that are about topics are going to request that you not ask for specific help on your mix, that you're interfering with the flow of communication. And that's completely appropriate to the open discussion forum. The second problem is that whenever there is a forum that does allow people to upload and to ask such questions, usually they end up almost entirely focused on people who have written lyrics that are looking for people to add music to them. There's hardly ever a place where the same professionals that could answer your mixing questions and give you a critique are not going to be available, because these sites are flooded by people who have written poetry and say, I'm a lyricist looking for a musician or looking for somebody to record music to my song. So the third problem that I see in this, and it's really kind of a combined thing, is that the only solution that is out there that makes sense, and it is a solution, and it does make sense, is that you are able to learn and get hands-on help by doing e-courses or webinar training, master classes, and these are all things that I'm going to be doing. They absolutely hone your skills. They help sharpen your skills. But for all of the people out there in the thousands and thousands who would love to try to learn in a good environment, the number three problem is that an open forum really is not a good way to learn. Imagine if we tried to teach math by, instead of teaching the rules of multiplication, addition, subtraction, that we put the question out there of not how do I multiply or how do I divide, but will somebody do this problem for me? And it's kind of the same scenario where if you don't know how to do it yourself, how are you going to know that you got the right answer, first of all? Second of all, they're going to tell you that that's not the purpose of the discussion. We're here to talk about math, not to solve your homework for you. And so even if you were to get answers, it's really kind of a terrible and distracting and not time-efficient way to learn. Whereas if somebody were to use the forum format where people can add comments and ask questions, but they're not controlling the dialogue and running the topics, then you can have somebody who has experience, and that's what I'm bringing to the table, is I'm bringing my experience in mixing and mastering, and use blogs and other media to present answers to the topics that you have been asking about. So I do think that it's a great way to teach, to find out what are the stumbling blocks, what are the things that you're not getting right, and then I can address those things, and then we take it a step further. Are there still issues that I can address and help you to learn from? So Fix Attune fundamentally is about addressing those three issues: providing the right place to learn, in the right environment for learning, and making it available to you for free. And then anything beyond that will come over time. My consultation will be available as a paid service whenever I am free to take on such things. And I do hope to complete ebooks and e-courses over time. People need more than just general help about concepts, and they need more than just examples about general help and concepts. Those things are crucial to learning, there's no question, but there's something very difficult about the art form and science of something as creative as mixing, and you really do want to come out of the process with a certain style that is distinctive. Not every answer is the right answer to every person, meaning that it is an art form, so a mix may sound better to one person or may need something different that somebody else prefers, and that'll happen 100 times over. But learning the hands-on is very difficult if you don't get assistance and critique for your own work. But again, this is something that you don't want to throw out there for the masses to weigh in on. You're better off getting good instruction from somebody that has run into these things and solved these problems than to throw caution to the wind and have 40 people weigh in, or even more likely say, this isn't the place for that kind of question. So Fix Attune is looking to resolve that issue. So to be clear up front, this is not about giving a rating to people's songs, like, dislike, you're a terrible songwriter, none of that kind of stuff. This is my realm of where I know I can help you the most. And also, this is not about pushing products on you. I may use some of my own designs. I may use competitors' designs to give examples of how to mix and master. I will have product reviews that will tie into the how-to aspect of things. But just to be clear, this is about teaching you things about EQ techniques, about compression techniques, what is mid-side, using panning to your advantage, phase correlation, timing, loudness wars, 0 dB full scale versus et cetera, et cetera. All the different types of things that are going on in mixing. So what makes mixing so difficult? I think that we've all experienced that kind of thing where you listen to something and you have a great idea and you go and you start playing music and you're recording and you're getting your parts down and everything's sounding fine until you get to the mix and you compare it to something in a similar genre and you're like, gosh, how do I get from here to there? And even if you have a great song, you've got great ideas and the performances are good, you might feel that you're somewhere at 40% out of 100 where you're trying to get to the quality level, the fullness, the richness of the sound. Gosh, how do they get that sound? There are a lot of very specific paths that are known to work, and we're going to cover all of those. So let's talk about what happens when you join Fix Attune. So you're going to go to fixattune.com, click on forum, and register. Use an email address that you use on a regular basis. Once you're done registering, you'll receive your activation through email. Click it to verify, and you're on your way. You can set up your profile. You can go in as much detail about your Twitter, Facebook, website, that kind of stuff. Use your profile to your advantage. I just ask that you keep it clean. So once you're there, you'll notice that it's outlined and structured about mixing help, mastering help. There'll be a place for product reviews. There's a specific place for podcasts. Anything that comes up that is at a major subject level, I'll add as time goes on. You're free to reply to anything that is a new topic. I ask that you keep it nice. Don't use bad language. I think that we won't have to harp on the rules too much. I ask that the topics stay very specific, meaning that let's really talk about what the topic is and not get off track, as sometimes happens in forums. Let's really make sure that we have a platform and a community where people are really excited about learning. So the Fix Attune forum is what I would call a controlled environment, meaning that there's a lot of websites dealing with these topics where anybody can post a new topic, and that can kind of continue into the abyss where it gets off track, and somewhere on the 19th page, you're not even talking about the same thing anymore. This is a controlled environment where I will be posting blog topics. I'm pretty sure we're going to cover the whole spectrum. I will have a section for questions where I will be getting your feedback and your questions and your suggestions. Nothing works better than before and after examples. And so one of the exciting things that I'm going to do to make sure that this is hands-on, I'm going to be posting projects where I'm looking for something specific to work with for a tutorial or a part of a course, for a podcast, or for a video. So make sure to check in the forum regularly, because I will ask for submission requests for a song that fits a certain criteria. I see this being a great resource where other people are going to have the same obstacles looking for the same kind of answers that you do. Fix Attune is a really unique situation because it's an opportunity for you to get hands-on help and for that kind of help to go to benefit others. Now, in a typical tutorial, all of the material is provided for you. It can be really difficult to learn how to improve your mix if it hasn't been recorded exactly the same way from the tools that you're learning from, or the examples that you hear in somebody's video. So what's going to take place is I will periodically be posting a submission request that is a locked part of the forum. So make sure and be watching for those notices, because it's your opportunity to get free consultation and to be a part of the process, to get the kind of hands-on help that you need with your mix. So I will be showing before and after mix scenarios on specific tutorial topics using your submissions. So it'll need to be your own original work, and you're giving me the permission to use it in my media. It'll be a teaching tool, always treated very respectfully, and what I'll be looking to identify is what parts of a mix can be improved upon. The overall goal with my consultation service is that the client themselves are going to go back and utilize the advice that's given to improve their mix. You know, anybody can take a mix and say, here, fix it for me, and they don't really know what got better. You'll be able to utilize the learning tools that I'm giving you on your own material. So when I'm presenting a tutorial that uses your submitted music, you'll be able to see exactly what changes I made and how they affected the mix. Whoever submits their music, we may do a follow-up, and I'll see if they were able to achieve better results. Do they feel like they gained something beneficial? So with Fix Attune being a community forum in a controlled environment, the focus is on teaching. So the reason that I want to keep things very specific and very on track is that I really feel like the purpose of free and open discussion about topics dealing with mixing and mastering are covered in other forums. People are able to weigh in, and things can go on for 19, 20, 30 pages, and that's fine. What usually happens, though, is that it gets off topic, somebody reels it back in, and a lot of times the original poster has long since abandoned the topic if they were looking for an answer to something. So since the purpose of this forum is for people to get the knowledge base that they need to grow and to improve their mixing, what I'm doing is expanding beyond the blog. A lot of times somebody has a blog that people follow and they'll leave comments, but it doesn't really go beyond commentary. And so I want the forum to be a place where, yes, people can weigh in, but typically we're going to stay on exactly the same topic that's being posted. And the goal of communication there is to make sure that people really get it. If there's still questions, I can help address those questions. I might even write a follow-up blog if I feel like I needed to learn how to go deeper into the topic and help more. So in the same way that the topics are going to be in a fairly controlled environment, the same is true for when I'm dealing with music submissions that are involved in tutorials. I don't want anybody to feel like they are afraid to share their music for the possibility of it being used in an example of mixing, being worried that people are going to critique the quality of their performance or the quality of their actual writing. This is not about critiquing. This is not about changing the lyrics to something else. We will, as time goes on, get into the discussion of different music styles, but not really as lessons about how to write a song. It's going to be lessons about how to mix a song that might be more specific to a certain genre. And once again, there are websites where you can learn specific things about specific DAWs, digital audio workstations. There's websites where you can learn about doing specific genres of music, meaning, how do I do EDM? Does anybody know what kind of guitar so-and-so used? These types of things, there's plenty of places to get that information. Once again, Fix Attune is going to be unique in that it specializes in helping you to improve your specific areas that are your weaknesses that you want to strengthen. So that's what I'm so excited about. I really believe that this is something that people have been looking for a long time. I can hear it in the kind of questions that people ask when they write me. These are the types of things that I'm answering a lot of times when people are asking me what kind of compressor might work for this. What kind of EQ should I use for this style of music? Of course, I'm interested in answering those questions, and a lot of times I do have a product that helps with those things. But a lot of times my answers go beyond which tool to use, because they're also asking, how do I set this up? So we're going to explore all of those things, and I firmly believe that this is going to be a fun process where there's a lot of eye-opening experiences. Wow, that's the sound I was looking for, and that is my hope. So one section of the forum is going to be for submission requests, and what I'll do is I will post at a certain time saying, from this period to this period, I'm looking for people to submit their music in a certain style, or submit a song that has X, Y, or Z, something specific that I'm going to do a tutorial about. The goal is that song is a mix that you have completed, that you have the session for. So what will occur, let's say that I've chosen your song, I'm going to follow up by asking you, what are your difficulties? What are you happy about, not happy about? Can you send me an example of something that you think sounds good that you wish yours could either sound like or fit in that genre? And of course, we're not trying to copycat anybody else's performance, but what I'll need is the input from you about what would make this successful and what are you having trouble with. I will use that as a tutorial for doing that specific type of task, and I will actually show the before and the after effects of if you change those things, here's what will happen. In addition to that, I will turn it over to you, the person who submitted the song, along with a sheet of notes, and I will ask you to apply the things that I've recommended and see if you're able to come up with a better mix on your own. If that's the case, then fantastic. If we're not there yet, up to a point, I will continue to work with you until the mix is there. The purpose of that is that, yes, it is like doing a paid consultation, but we're doing it for somebody else. And my purpose in showing a before-after of the mix is not showing you, I have fixed your mix for you, but is to show you, here's some things that when you use this technique, these are the results that happen. And it's up to you if you like them or if you want to try a different direction. So my wish for you as people who are going to come and join Fix Attune is that you feel like you are becoming empowered to be the better mixing engineer or mastering engineer that you had hoped to be. Also, I'm hoping that I'm giving you materials that if you've been holding back on sharing your music, perhaps you want to create a SoundCloud or you're wanting to have your own YouTube channel, my hope is that you might let people know that part of your learning experience was being a part of Fix Attune. You might even find it interesting to share with other people on your Facebook page. This is how my mix sounded before. I got some help from Fix Attune and now it sounds this way. So it can be helpful to me to help grow our community. But another thing I'm really excited about with Fix Attune is that I believe in a concept that I have developed about a sharing style of marketing. And I'm not going to go into full details about it now, but to let you know that I've created a part of Fix Attune in the forum that is about a highlight for users. It's an area where I will be producing information for you as a songwriter, as an artist or a band, as a studio. If you are looking to reach out to your base, I am going to help with that process and promotion. And I will be reaching out to members. I may do a submission request at some point in time. So there will be times where I will actually be helping to take some of the material that you have produced and help edit it together as a promotional that you can use. And in turn, it's something that you can use in your channels and, of course, let people know about joining Fix Attune. So since some of you may know me as Michael with CD Soundmaster, you may be wondering how this ties in with the products that I've developed over the years. I will not be using Fix Attune for the sake of pushing my products. I may use some of my own products as examples for mixing and mastering. I may even use competitor products to illustrate how something works. But I will have a separate section for product reviews and also just for tutorials on some of those products, meaning that I will use it as a teaching tool, and I might talk about some of the places that you can use a certain EQ or compressor to your advantage. If I find that there's some tools that are innovative that really can help people to become a better producer, a better mixing engineer, better musician, maybe work quicker in their environment, I may do a review or instructions on that. But just understand, the purpose of Fix Attune is not just to supply another channel for me to promote my products. It's a natural fit that I will mention them at some point in time. But what has inspired me with this is I do love to teach. And I love music, I love composition, I love writing, recording, I love working with stems for mixing, and I love innovative music. I love listening to things that I know were a challenge for somebody to figure out the first time. But for many years, because I've had products to sell, I have done so much Q&A over the years via email. And it's wonderful to build those relationships with people over time. And a lot of times you feel like you've really had a chance to help somebody, and that's a great feeling. But it's not benefiting anybody else. And so there's years that I feel like I could have been benefiting more people to understand what something means or how a process works. So this is my way of trying to take advantage of that opportunity to reach out to more people and to see if I can help them get the sound that they're looking for. So please come join Fix Attune. Just go to fixattune.com. You'll see forum at the top. Just go ahead and click on that, register. You'll find the activation in your email. You can write me at michael@fixattune.com if you have any problems or questions. Let's just get busy building this community. I'm excited for us to have the opportunity to help one another out. Thank you so much for being a part of this webinar, and I look forward to seeing you in the community forum. God bless you. Bye-bye.